Welcome, Dungeon Master. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the first step of creating your own D&D world, defining your world's concept. Let's get started. Creating your own D&D world is one of the most rewarding experiences as a Dungeon Master. Whether you're inspired by classic settings like Faerun, the steampunk-inspired Eberron, or the gothic horror of Ravenloft, building a unique world allows you to craft a setting tailored to your story and your players. Today, we'll guide you through the process of defining your world's concept. We'll cover everything from choosing a genre and theme to setting the tone and defining unique characteristics. By the end, you'll have a solid foundation to build upon, making your world rich, immersive, and uniquely yours. The concept of your world sets the stage for everything that follows. It defines the genre, tone, and unique characteristics of your campaign setting. But where do you begin? Start by thinking about the big picture. What kind of world do you want your players to explore? What themes and genres excite you the most? Consider what makes your world unique. Is it a land of high fantasy, filled with magical creatures and epic quests? Or perhaps a dark and gritty world, where danger lurks around every corner? Maybe you're drawn to a steampunk setting, where magic and technology intertwine. The concept you choose will influence every aspect of your campaign, from the characters and stories you create to the adventures your players will embark on. So take your time and think about what kind of world you want to build. Next, we'll dive into choosing the genre and theme of your world. This will help you establish a consistent tone and mood, setting the stage for immersive storytelling. Now that you have a broad concept for your world, it's time to dive deeper by choosing a specific genre and theme. These elements will shape the overall feel and direction of your campaign. First, let's talk about genre. The genre of your world sets the foundation for the types of stories you'll tell and the adventures your players will experience. Here are a few popular genres to consider. High fantasy is perfect if you love epic quests and magical creatures. Think of worlds like Middle-earth or Faerun, where magic is abundant and heroes embark on grand adventures. If you prefer a more eerie and sinister atmosphere, dark fantasy might be your genre. These worlds are filled with danger and moral ambiguity, where heroes often face grim choices and powerful malevolent forces. Steampunk combines the best of both worlds, magic and technology. Imagine a Victorian-era setting where airships soar through the skies, and clockwork robots are powered by arcane energy. Once you've chosen your genre, it's time to establish a consistent theme. The theme will influence the tone of your stories and the challenges your players face. Here are a few themes to consider. A theme of hope and heroism is ideal for campaigns where players are the knights in shining armor, battling against overwhelming odds to bring peace and justice to the land. If you enjoy complex plots and uncovering secrets, a theme of mystery and intrigue might be perfect. Players will navigate political landscapes, solve puzzles, and uncover hidden truths. For those who prefer a more intense and challenging experience, a theme of survival and horror can create a gripping atmosphere. Players must make tough decisions to survive in a world filled with danger and uncertainty. Remember, the theme is the overall feel of the setting, but you can use all of these options in different sessions. Hope and heroism might be how the campaign starts, which leads to mystery in a city, where the party needs to figure out who killed someone important. That might lead into a dungeon, where survival is the only thing the party can think of in the Dungeon of Horrors. Combining your chosen genre and theme will give your world a unique identity. A high fantasy world with a theme of hope and heroism will feel very different from a steampunk world filled with mystery and intrigue. For example, in a hopeful high fantasy setting, players might embark on quests to save kingdoms and defeat evil overlords. In a mysterious steampunk world, they could be uncovering conspiracies and navigating a web of political intrigue. By carefully choosing and combining your genre and theme, you'll create a rich and engaging world that provides a consistent and immersive experience for your players. Now that you've chosen your genre and theme, you're well on your way to creating a unique and captivating world. Next, we'll explore how to set the tone and mood, ensuring your world feels alive and immersive. Now that you've chosen your genre and theme, it's time to set the tone and mood of your world. These elements will shape the atmosphere and emotional impact of your campaign. Tone and mood are crucial for creating an immersive experience. They influence how your players perceive the world and how they feel as they navigate through it. Let's explore what tone and mood are and how you can establish them in your campaign. Tone refers to the overall attitude or feeling of your world, while mood is the emotional atmosphere that pervades your setting. For example, a bright and hopeful tone can create a sense of optimism and adventure, while a dark and foreboding mood can instill tension and suspense. Choosing the right tone for your world helps set player expectations and guides their actions. Here are some common tones to consider. A hopeful tone is perfect for campaigns where players are heroes battling against darkness, bringing light and justice to the land. This tone encourages optimism and heroism. A dark tone suits worlds where danger lurks around every corner, and moral choices are rarely black and white. This tone creates a sense of tension and uncertainty. If you want to keep your players guessing, a mysterious tone can add layers of intrigue and suspense. Players will feel like detectives uncovering secrets and hidden truths. Next, let's talk about mood. The mood of your world can be established through various elements like weather, lighting, and sound. Here's how you can use these elements to create a specific mood. Weather can greatly affect the mood of your scenes. A sunny day can make a village feel welcoming and safe, while a thunderstorm can make the same village feel ominous and dangerous. Lighting also plays a crucial role. Bright, natural light creates a sense of openness and safety, while dim or flickering light can add to the feeling of suspense and danger. Sound is often overlooked, but it's incredibly effective for setting the mood. The right background music or ambient noise can immerse your players in the world and heighten the emotional impact of your scenes. Tone and mood work together to create a cohesive atmosphere for your campaign. Here are some examples of how you can use them together effectively. Matching your tone and mood creates a consistent experience. For instance, in a hopeful campaign, you might use bright, sunny scenes to reinforce the tone of optimism and heroism. Contrast can be powerful too. Shifting from a hopeful scene to a dark, stormy one can highlight a sudden change in the story and grab your players' attention. Adapt your tone and mood to fit different scenarios. A mysterious forest exploration might have an eerie, suspenseful mood, while a battle against a dark overlord might shift to a more intense and dire tone. By carefully choosing and maintaining the tone and mood of your world, you can create an immersive and emotionally engaging experience for your players. Next, we'll explore how to define unique characteristics that make your world truly stand out. Now that you've set the tone and mood of your world, it's time to define its unique characteristics. These elements will make your world stand out and give it a distinct identity. Unique characteristics are the elements that make your world memorable and engaging. They can be anything from geographical features and magical phenomena to cultural traits and historical landmarks. Think about what makes your world different from others. Is it known for its floating islands, where cities drift through the sky? Or perhaps it has enchanted forests, filled with sentient trees and magical creatures. These unique features will not only make your world more interesting, but also provide endless storytelling opportunities. Let's start with geography. Unique geographical features can shape the way your world looks and how your players interact with it. Here are a few ideas to inspire you. Floating islands can create a sense of wonder and exploration. Imagine your players navigating through a network of aerial cities, each with its own culture and secrets. Not to mention, how do they move from one island to another? Flying creatures, magical boats, bridges. Underground cities offer a different kind of adventure. These hidden metropolises can be home to ancient civilizations, secret societies, and untold treasures. This could be the Underdark, or simply a buried city. Enchanted forests add a touch of magic to your world. These mystical woods can be filled with rare herbs, magical creatures, and hidden pathways. It's a fact that all forests were considered haunted up to at least the Renaissance. Use that fact to build out the reasons why. Magical elements can add depth and intrigue to your world. These phenomena can influence the environment, culture, and even the economy of your world. Here are some examples. Ley lines can serve as sources of power for magic users and influence the construction of cities and landmarks. These energy lines can be a focus for quests and conflicts. Floating crystals can be a source of wonder and power. These rare minerals might be sought after for their magical properties, driving trade and conflict. Arcane storms are both a threat and an opportunity. These magical tempests can alter reality, creating new challenges and adventures for your players. Cultural traits give life to the civilizations in your world. These can include unique customs, festivals, architectural styles, and clothing. Here are some ideas. Festivals can provide vibrant settings for your adventures. They can be times of celebration, political intrigue, or even danger. Unique architecture can make each city or village in your world feel distinct. Think about how the environment influences building styles, from towering spires to cozy, earth-berm homes. If you want one realm to be different from another, change the architecture. That alone will make them feel distinct and unique. Clothing can also be a powerful storytelling tool. Distinctive attire can indicate a character's status, profession, or cultural background. These could be uniforms, or simply the clothing specific guilds wear. Historical landmarks add depth and history to your world. These can be ancient ruins, battlefields, or legendary monuments. Here are some examples. Ancient ruins can be the source of quests and mysteries. These remnants of lost civilizations might hold powerful artifacts or forbidden knowledge. Battlefields can provide a sense of history and significance. These sites might be haunted by the spirits of fallen warriors or hold clues to ancient conflicts. Legendary monuments can serve as focal points for your stories. These structures might be pilgrimage sites, places of power, or the setting for important events. By defining unique characteristics, you make your world stand out and provide endless opportunities for storytelling. Next, we'll discuss how to build the foundation of your world by sketching out key locations, cultures, and characters. Now that your world has unique characteristics, it's time to build its foundation. This involves sketching out key locations, cultures, and characters that will bring your world to life. The foundation of your world is built on the locations, cultures, and characters that inhabit it. These elements create a rich backdrop for your stories and adventures. Let's explore how to start building this foundation. A well-developed foundation provides depth and context for your campaign. It helps you and your players understand the world better and makes the setting more immersive and believable. Start by sketching out key locations in your world. These can be cities, villages, natural landmarks, or important sites. Here are a few tips to get you started. Major cities are often hubs of activity and can serve as central points for your campaign. Think about the culture, architecture, and key figures in these cities. Villages offer a more intimate setting and can be great for smaller local stories. These places might be tight-knit communities with their own traditions and secrets. Natural landmarks add variety to your world's geography. Mountains, forests, and rivers can serve as obstacles, resources, or sites of adventure. Important sites like ancient ruins or battlefields can be the focus of quests and exploration. These places are often filled with history and mystery. Next, create basic outlines for the major cultures and societies in your world. Consider their customs, traditions, and social structures. Here are some elements to think about. Customs and traditions can add depth to your cultures. Think about unique practices, holidays, and rituals that set them apart. Social structures determine how societies are organized. Consider the hierarchies and power dynamics, from monarchies and democracies to tribal councils. Architectural styles can give each culture a distinct visual identity. Think about how the environment and resources influence building designs. Clothing and symbols help differentiate cultures. Unique attire and symbols can indicate status, profession, or cultural affiliation. Developing central characters and factions adds life to your world. These key figures and groups drive the story and provide interaction points for your players. Here's how to create them. Central characters are the movers and shakers of your world. Create heroes, villains, and influential NPCs with detailed backgrounds and motivations. Factions add complexity and intrigue. These groups can be political entities, religious orders, or criminal organizations, each with their own agendas and goals. Understanding the motivations and goals of your characters and factions helps drive the narrative. What are they striving for? How do their goals conflict or align with each other? Relationships between characters and factions add another layer of depth. Consider alliances, rivalries, and personal connections that can influence the story. By sketching out key locations, cultures, and characters, you're building a solid foundation for your world. This groundwork provides a rich backdrop for your stories and adventures, making your campaign more immersive and engaging. Integrate these elements to ensure your world is consistent and coherent. Use this foundation as a springboard for your storytelling, and watch your world come to life as your players explore and interact with it. With the foundation of your world in place, you're ready to create a rich, immersive setting for your campaign. In the next section, we'll refine and expand your concept, adding depth and nuance to your world. Now that you've built the foundation of your world, it's time to refine and expand your concept. This involves adding depth and nuance to make your world feel truly alive. Refining and expanding your world concept is an ongoing process. It involves adding details and thinking about how different elements of your world interact. Let's explore some techniques to help you with this process. As you refine your world, consider the interactions between different elements. Ensure that your world remains consistent and coherent, even as you add more details and complexity. Start by adding more details to your key locations. Think about the small elements that make these places feel real and lived in. Here are some tips. Environmental details can bring your locations to life. Consider the flora and fauna that inhabit each area, as well as the weather patterns and seasons. Think about the daily life of the inhabitants. What do people do for a living? What are their routines and customs? These details make your world feel authentic and immersive. Unique features add character to your locations. These could be famous landmarks, local legends, or hidden secrets waiting to be discovered. Next, develop your cultures and societies in greater detail. Consider their history, traditions, and social dynamics. Here are some aspects to focus on. Historical context provides depth to your cultures. Think about major events that have shaped these societies, such as wars, alliances, and discoveries. Traditions and beliefs add richness to your cultures. Consider the festivals, holidays, and religious practices that define these societies. Social dynamics create interesting interactions and conflicts. Think about the class structures, power relationships, and ongoing conflicts within each society. Your characters and factions can also benefit from added depth. Develop their backstories, motivations, and relationships to make them more engaging. Here are some ideas. Backstories give characters depth and context. Think about their origins, significant life events, and how they've grown over time. Understanding your character's motivations helps drive the story. Consider their goals, desires, and fears, and how these influence their actions. Relationships between characters and factions add another layer of complexity. Think about their allies, rivals, and personal connections, and how these relationships affect their actions and decisions. Finally, ensure that your world remains consistent and coherent. As you add more details, regularly review your notes and maps to make sure everything fits together seamlessly. Here are some tips. Regularly review your world's details to maintain consistency. Cross-reference your notes and maps to ensure that the elements align and make sense together. Player feedback can also help identify inconsistencies. Encourage your players to ask questions and provide input, and use their feedback to refine your world. By refining and expanding your concept, you add depth and nuance to your world, making it more immersive and engaging for your players. These details create a rich backdrop for your stories and adventures. Integrate these refined details to enhance the immersion and engagement of your campaign. Use this depth to create dynamic and compelling stories that captivate your players. With your world refined and expanded, you're ready to create an immersive and engaging setting for your campaign. In the final section, we'll discuss how to bring all these elements together and prepare for dynamic storytelling. Now that we've covered the essential steps to creating your own D&D world, it's time to bring everything together. Let's recap what we've learned and discuss how to prepare for dynamic storytelling. Creating a D&D world is a journey that involves several crucial steps. First, we define the world's concept by choosing a genre and theme that set the stage for our adventures. We then establish the tone and mood to create a consistent and immersive atmosphere. We moved on to defining unique characteristics that make our world stand out, adding magical elements, geographical features, and cultural traits. Building the foundation involved sketching out key locations, cultures, and characters that breathe life into the setting. Finally, we refined and expanded our concept by adding depth and nuance, ensuring consistency and coherence throughout the world. This process included developing complex characters, factions, and interactions that drive our stories. With a well-crafted world, you're ready to embark on dynamic storytelling. Here are a few tips to help you bring your world to life in your D&D sessions. Engage your players by involving them in the world-building process. Encourage them to explore and interact with the setting, making their actions have meaningful consequences. Be flexible and adapt your story based on player decisions. This allows the narrative to evolve naturally and keeps the game dynamic and exciting. Use visual aids like maps, miniatures, and props to enhance immersion. These tools help players visualize the world and make the game more engaging. Encourage role-playing to foster character development and interaction. Create meaningful opportunities for players to express their characters and build relationships. Keep detailed notes on important events, NPCs, and locations. This helps maintain continuity and coherence, making your world feel more real and consistent. Creating your own D&D world is a rewarding and creative endeavor. It allows you to craft a unique setting that reflects your imagination and provides endless opportunities for adventure. Your world doesn't have to be an entire world. It can be a continent, a kingdom, or just a city. Everything beyond the edges of your world can be myth and legend to the inhabitants, which can be explored by your players later. Remember, the key is to have fun and enjoy the process. Embrace your creativity and let your imagination run wild. Collaborate with your players to make the world-building process a shared experience. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. With these tools and tips, you're ready to create an immersive and engaging D&D world that will captivate your players and provide countless hours of adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Dungeon Master tips and guides. Happy world building! Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos for more Dungeon Master tips and guides.